Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, throw open your windows and call out to your neighbors. It's time for John Perrotta's Comedy Factory Zoom a Loser, sponsored in part by the all-new Comedy Factory RI.com. We have an esteemed panel for you tonight, boys and girls. We have our good friend Jerry Caruso.
Hey.
We have next to him Steve Turgeon, looking handsome as always, and then the ever beautiful, direct from the land of Russia, serving on the front line as a nurse, Larissa Enton. And of course, we have the man. He's not a myth. He is a legend. Our host, John Perrotta.
If I was a legend, I'd be playing Vegas tonight. I wouldn't be in my daughter's old bedroom doing a Zoom show. Legends don't do Zooms from their daughter's bedroom.
They do too.
That's right.
Maybe
Jerry,
now in the pandemic, I don't know.
You could set the precedent. That's what you can do.
But hey, I got to thank Mike, you guys. You got a chance to check out. He did an incredible job on my website. Needed to be done over eventually. I kind of let it go for 25 years. My friend did. He did a good job, and but Mike took it over. And he designed the new website, comedyfactoryri.com. Go on there and check it out. It's got the bio, pictures, video gallery. It's a really great job. I was really impressed. Did a great job, Mike. So
Jerry went to go do it.
Yep. Yeah. I went to go order a Ginzo.
Yeah, hey, kudos to Mike Cronin. Mike Cronin. So what do you got?
I saw bits and pieces of it. Nice job, Mikey.
Yeah, he did an awesome job.
It came out nice, didn't it? It came out nice.
It did.
Mike's funny because he calls me up. Like today, he called me up. He's going to set up my email, and he said, "We got a bookmark. We got to do this." I said, "What do you mean bookmark?" Like I have no clue. I am computer illiterate, so I put Mike through a lot of stuff the last few weeks over this.
Working on this website, boys and girls, was a lot of fun because the original website, as we all know, his friend put it together to the best he could, I think back right after Woodstock in 1969. And that site was through Yahoo Business. So now Yahoo Business, I call them up because I got to get familiar with the back end, learn how to navigate it, put it together, change things around. Well, where do you think Yahoo Business's customer support is located? If you said India, you were right. India.
I was going to guess Woonsocket.
No, not Woonsocket. Heavy,
close though,
heavy
Mike. Steve, close.
Language barrier. I can hear all the people in the background talking because they're all jammed in one room, 117 of them. I've been with GoDaddy for years. My site's with GoDaddy. I've been with them for a long, long time. I've developed good professional relationships. Johnny P's not budging. Nah, bad boy, I don't like change. Can't you do it on Yahoo? Build it on Yahoo, bad boy. So what happened was I caught a break. He goes in for this operation. So now he's beat up. He's banged up a little bit. So I get a text one day. He says to me, "Bad boy, if you want to change it, go ahead, bring it to GoDaddy." I was like, yippee, we're changing it. So now we bring it over to GoDaddy. And as we build it along, I need John's input. It's his website. I want him to be proud of it. So just some of those back and forth conversations were funny. I set up his email today. He finally has a professional email, boys and girls. Write this down. It's John@comedyfactoryri.com. Setting that up.
20th century, baby.
It was a barrel of laughs, Steve. I'm trying to tell John how you bookmark it. He's like this, bookmark, bad boy, bookmark. I don't know what a bookmark is. And then he tells me, he goes, "I'm getting stressed out over here." Now I know he's serious. I know he's not joking. Because John can run hot. So he's like, "I'm getting stressed out over here, bad boy." So I'm waiting to see the gray Impala come flying up on my front lawn any second now. So we finally got that all squared away. I got him emails back and forth. The website's up. It looks good. Thank you, Jesus. It came out good. So John is what I call, he's high and tight now. Professional.
It only took me 30 years of comedy to get high and tight.
Well,
Did you know that since John left Yahoo, they went out of business? He was the only one left.
He was their last customer.
Yeah, he was it.
Yeah.
The stocks crashed, Johnny.
Yeah, he had an AOL account too.
That's right, Steve. That's it, man. Go ahead.
I
Melissa.
at Yahoo, it's where you go snowboarding.
Yes, yes, exactly. I'm telling you, you're right. I never even knew that Yahoo hosted and built websites. I
I never
had
knew that neither.
I had no
I'm
idea.
not sure they know that.
We
Oh,
got it
man.
about 25 years ago. Got it.
Well, I think the
When
moral
you
here
were in
is
prison.
you got to make important decisions when you're heavily medicated. I think that
Yeah, that's
we've all
right.
learned that now from this story.
They gave me the shot in the hospital when I had the prostate surgery. They texted Mike, do what you gotta do.
Yeah, because
I was in too much pain at that point to care what happened.
he was holding his ground with Yahoo, man. He wanted to stay with Yahoo.
I gave it up. So what's going on? What's going on with you, Steve Turgeon? What's going on in your world, brother?
Not too much. I got a new iPhone. Isn't that great? Yeah,
Nice.
I know. Now explain something to me, right? Now, if I have a phone and I want to turn the sound on, you would think you'd turn the sound on, right? And then if you want the sound off, you turn the sound off, right? So I asked the guy at the store about the iPhone, and the guy goes, "No, see, sir, you're in silent mode. So if you want sound, you have to turn silent off." Like, don't you have it on? No, you have to turn silent off. And then if you want sound, then you got to turn the silent off. And if you don't want sound, you turn the silent back on.
Yep.
Is that,
You bought a
That's how
phone
they
from
do it with
Yahoo?
the iPhone.
yeah, I think I did. Yeah, it was.
It
The
doesn't
guy
have a
was from
volume thing.
India, though, so I don't know.
Doesn't have a volume thing on the side, Steve, to put it up and down. It doesn't have that.
Yeah, no, it does, but it's not. It's if you shut it off, you're turning on silent. You're not turning off the sound. That's according to the guy at the store. So,
Mike, I'm already confused. Explain this to me, Mike.
Well,
You're my
it's-
IT guy. Explain this to me.
That's Mr. Yahoo.
There's,
oh, do you have an iPhone?
there's this little
I got an Android.
Oh.
gizmo right here that you switch one
Yeah.
way or the other, and it's
Right.
either going to put silent on or silent off, and
Yeah,
then
that's
right
what I got.
below that you've got
Yeah.
your volume low,
Yep.
low and high.
But you would think that you would turn the sound on, but you
Right.
don't turn the sound on. You turn silent off.
Yep, silent
Oh.
off. You are
I'm
right.
already saying I'll never get an iPhone. I'll tell you right now, I'll stick with my Androids. I cannot get an iPhone.
We should get together and get a documentary crew to follow John to the Apple Genius Bar and just film it for an hour. That would,
Oh, wow.
that would be beautiful.
When I switched phones one time with Verizon from one Android to another, I was on the phone over 4 hours trying to get all my things switched over, the pictures. I guess it's quicker now. The last time wasn't too bad, but one time I was on 4 hours just trying to switch all my stuff over to the new phone. I was a mess.
I'm surprised that you don't know all this stuff because you seem like a guy that would really know this and grasp it.
I'm
Well,
very
if you ever,
computer
if you ever do
illiterate.
go to the Apple store, make sure it's on the first floor because I think there's a
I
suicide.
will never
person there.
go to the Apple store. You'll never see me in an Apple. I don't care if they come down to $1 for the phone. I will not go Apple. I will never buy. Mark my words. You'll never see me with anything to do with Apple. Nothing.
How come? How come?
I can't figure it out. I looked at my other friend's phone. This Android, I know inside and out. I'm a pro in Android. If I get an Apple, I'll
Good.
be lost. I'll be lost.
So
I'll be
here's what
calling
we're
Mike
doing
5
today.
times a day.
We set up his email today. I got it all set up. He's in there. So I tell him, now you can create folders. I have all folders. Here's what John says to me. Folders. Bad boy. What do I want to folder? I keep folders on my desk. I know what I want a folder for. I said, well, let's say, you have Asia Grill, lemongrass, different rooms. You create a folder for that. No. I write all that down on my desk and I put it in a folder. I don't need. I don't.
I'm
need a
old
folder.
school, man. I don't need no
folder in
folders.
my
I'm not going.
folder. What are you talking about? A folder. So then we move on to trying to get it bookmarked so he can save it. That was a conversation all in of itself that was hilarious. Bookmark. What are you talking about? Bookmark.
I
How
don't
do I
have any
bookmark
clue.
it? It was so funny.
Larissa, what's going on in your world? She's a nurse, a comedian, improv, first responder. What's going on with
Lots
you,
of
Larissa?
bookmarks, John. And lots of files.
No
It's
clue.
all in folders. That's how you keep it straight.
Yeah, but John, I have to tell you, if Apple had booked you or Comedy Factor to do a show, you would know it. You would know what to do. You just
You
don't
think
have
so?
like real experience with that industry. But if you were hanging out with those guys long enough, oh, it's a cake.
If I
You're
hung
very
out
smart.
with
I know
6
you.
Apple experts, within 1 week, 2 would probably commit suicide, the other 4 be in rehab. They'd be gone. Yes,
Okay.
Mike. Mike has put up with me. I don't know how with the website.
John, isn't that true about any 6 people you were to hang out with?
Yeah, right.
I would make them bananas. Mike just laughs. He just
One
Mike's a
laughs.
time,
saint.
right?
Mike's
One-
a saint. He's a man
Jerry,
of God. He's
one-
patient.
One time I was on the phone and he was here in person. So, and he does ask me a lot of questions, but I find it to be funny. I love him. He's been one of my best friends for 30 years. So I like helping him out, working with him. So that night, as I'm tucking myself in, going to bed, he sends me a text. He says to me, Mikey, you really have changed. You really have become a man of God. You didn't swear at me once.
I
You
drove
just
him
waited
nuts
till you
that
were
day.
gone,
I
John.
drove him nuts. Jerry Caruso, my
man.
brother. What do you got going on in your neck of the woods in Mass?
I
What do you
just filmed a. I don't know what's wrong with these people. They want to do an evening with Jerry Caruso. Apparently, they
Nice.
ran out of people to do evenings with. So,
Yeah.
but I did a show. It was so weird. I was at a cable station. They had an audience of like 3 people, and then the other 3 people were in the other room. And I go, "What's this?" They go, "No, you got a real audience." They put a 50-foot screen in front of me while I was at the microphone. There were 20 people on there, and I said, "Don't turn the microphone off. Leave it on." It worked out really well. I was totally shocked.
Nice,
And it's
Jerry.
going to be shown like 5 or 6 times. Trying to raise
Ooh.
money for a Catholic school.
Nice, Jerry.
Wow.
Yeah, they
How
got
did
done.
that work, Jerry? Could you hear them laughing at your jokes?
Yes, because so when they're on Zoom, it's just like this.
Yep.
But there were like 20 panes out there. And,
Right.
And I had them leave their mics on. Like if they knew there was any background noise that would disturb it, they'd turn it off. I go, just don't worry about it. None of them had kids and running around, and it was perfect. I was in shock. And now I've got 2 Rotary clubs I got to do coming up this month. One
Is
day
that
want me to
Zoom or
roast
live, Jerry? Is that Zoom or live?
Zoom.
Zoom.
But I don't mind, because if they do it the same like this, where all the heads are on
Yeah.
and the mic's on, then I can do it.
See, I'm not like I did this Zoom talk show, but I'm gonna wait like May. I think I'm gonna try to make a comeback into live comedy, because I'll have my second shot. I'll be ready to go, and things are gonna
Good.
things are gonna start coming back little by little. So I'm gonna go for live. I can't do like I work the audience. I can't
Oh, I
hear
know you do.
the guy in Square Two.
That would
Yeah, I
be
can't
funny.
do my
See,
act.
That
that's
would be funny. It'd be like the Hollywood Squares.
For about 2
Right,
minutes, it'd
right.
be funny, and then
Yeah.
it would wear off fast if I'm going on. Hey, the
I'll
guy in the
take
fifth square
Rosemary for
over
the
here.
block.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna work. So I can't. I've done this talk show. This is fun, and I get
Yeah,
to
but
connect with
John,
all you guys and girls. But I would not.
You're as funny as Paul Lynn. You're as funny as Paul Lynn. You do the Hollywood Squares.
Paul
I'll take
Lynn was
her
a
out of the
legend.
block.
Paul Lynn was a legend.
He
I
was.
loved
He
him.
was.
I loved
He
that guy.
definitely was.
He
He
was.
So I got
in
those
wits,
going on.
you know.
So I'm
He was
busy
good.
enough.
Yeah,
I'm busy
live
enough.
comedy's gonna come back. We'll be back by the fall. I think it's gonna be really good.
I did a live show Saturday night. Did you read about that? I did
Yeah,
a
I read
women's
something
football-
about that. Yeah,
Women's football team. It was fun.
A
yeah.
women's football team.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
The New England Crush, I think the name was.
Now was that a live show, Jerry?
Yeah, yeah.
Should have
what
called
they
me.
did
I
is
would
they
have sat in the
separated
parking
the
lot
tables.
anyway and seen the football players going around.
Well, they separated the table.
John, listen to John.
Everybody wore masks, and but when you're on stage, you didn't have to wear them, and people at the table had their choice, and people come and talk to me. They had their mask on.
Did
It
you
was
meet
fun.
the quarterback or the tight end?
Yes, I met the quarterback, and who else did I meet? A couple of linebackers. Oh my God, they were a riot.
That's just what I need. Get 3 or 4 of them women football players to throw me around the room, wake me up for this pandemic.
Gonna need
Ron,
that
where we go?
surgery again.
No more. Let me tell you something. I never had a catheter in my life until February 26th, and they took it out March 1st, and I got to see the doctor this Thursday, and I'm gonna thank him, but I'm gonna I might punch him. I'm not sure what to punch him or thank him, but I will. I hope I never have a catheter again. It's awful. I guess I had a severe reaction, but I've talked to other guys. Oh, it was nothing. Well, for me, it was crazy when I had that surgery. I don't know if you guys have ever had a catheter, but it's brutal.
Don't want it. Don't want it.
You don't want that. Believe me when I tell you, Steve.
I'd be pissed if I had to.
I believe you. Yeah, I'm not. I'll take your word for it.
I was in Miriam Hospital on Saturday night. They took me there by rescue. They gave me a shot of what's that stuff called? Dilaudid? What's it called? Dilaudid. It's pain medication. I was in so much
That's a
pain.
question for Larissa.
They gave me a shot. Dilaudid, whatever it is. They gave me a shot. of that.
Hello.
Yeah, they did all kind of tests. I woke up. Doctor said we can't take the catheter off. The urologist said you leave it till Monday morning.
Dude, I'm gonna ask you serious.
In serious pain.
I'm gonna ask you a serious question. When you woke up, were your pants undone? Were you okay?
I wasn't okay, Jerry. I wasn't.
Unbuckle my pants.
Well,
Thank
John,
God. I had great nurses, great doctors. I was lucky, you know.
Good,
Miriam
thank
Hospital was
God.
good. Yeah, what are you gonna say, Larissa?
I was just about to ask you if at least the cute young nurse put the catheter in.
I don't know who put it in. I was knocked out.
Oh,
I
wow.
woke up from the surgery and the catheter was in. I woke up and I had a urinate. I woke up and I look in the bags and she said, "You're gonna feel that way all weekend." Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Thank
What a
you.
happy ending.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. She said, "You're gonna want to pee all weekend, but just lay there and you'll go in the bag. You'll be okay." I said, "Thanks. Thank you." Right.
Oh, if
friend
only it
Mike
were that
Murray
easy
picked-
the regular time, huh? You
Mike
sure you
Murray
don't want to
picked me
just
up.
get one installed permanently?
Never. 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 If they, oh my God, never.
I felt so bad, Johnny, talking to you on Saturday. Johnny went into a pain fit. I'm like, my wife said, "Hang up." I go, I can't leave him hanging. He's in pain. He said, "Jerry, I'm in pain." I'm that. "Oh, all right, okay, all right. Well, we'll be praying for you." Mikey,
they
I
told
was
me-
asking Jesus to go see him.
Hey,
But
with the
Yeah.
catheter in, you may get bladder spasm. You may. I got them every 10 minutes for 3 days. You may. So I got to talk to the doctor Thursday. Kind of give him a conversation, see what's up.
Offer to put one to the doctor. See
I don't think he's gonna
how
let
it
me.
feels from a different end.
Mikey, where are we going from here now? We've been talking websites, catheters, prostate
It's about
surgery.
you. Tonight is about you, John.
Oh, no more about me.
Yeah.
I want to know about you guys. Mike, where do you want to go from here?
I want to talk to Jerry more about doing that virtual show. We did a virtual event with Pastor Mike, who now I call him Dr. Caparelli because it's not fair that I still call him Pastor Mike because he paid thousands and thousands of dollars to get that PhD. And we had 22 people, and Mary Ellen did the comedy, and it went very well. And I took your tip, Jerry, because when you do Jerry's show, the format's different. When you talk, you have the big screen. Then when Jerry talks, he's the big screen, and that's set up in speaker view. So
that's what it is. Okay.
I put it in speaker view so that Mary Ellen would have the dominant screen when she talked.
Oh, that's
and
great.
I'll tell you, man, she did good. She did really good.
Yeah, she's very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about Mary Ellen DiPetrillo Rinaldi, for those who don't know.
Oh,
What
I
I
know
want,
her.
what I want to know from
Italians
Jerry
know
was,
Italians, John.
what did that feel like, Jerry? What for you? As you were going through your set, did you find it to be you're in uncharted waters? How did you navigate through your set?
Well, when I did the one last night, which I think will be on soon, they had me like, they said, "What do you want for a background?" I just normal background, nothing fancy, no fairies, no candy, no nothing. Just black background, put a picture of me. I don't care. So I was at the microphone and I didn't pull it out, and I was just looking at the people, concentrating on them, and I rolled through my set. I just went through, asked them questions, but it was like, to me, it's like I saw them as my audience, as if they were out there, and I see these faces, and I just put in my mind that I'm doing my show. And then 2 weeks prior to that, I did a church show, same thing. I said, leave your microphones on. And I just talked to them, and the guy goes, "I can't believe you rolled through it like we were all in the same room as you." And that's how I pictured it. And I just kept going, and it was just such a blast, both those shows. That they were a blessing from God because they were so rewarding, because one raised money for Hearts for Heat, where they give money to elderly people who need heat and don't have the money.
Hey, I'm 63 and I'm freezing over here.
Well, then we'll have to get you on a show. You can tell people that you're freezing.
So
Tell them,
Jerry,
cut me a check, Jerry. I'm cold over here.
so Jerry, do people react to the show? And
Yep.
is that delay because they're kind of laughing in their own little screen there? Does that throw you
so,
off?
So what happens, Steve, like all their mics are on, I tell them to leave the microphones on, and they're actually like active participants. They weren't talking to me, but I was talking back to them, and some were answering me, but they were like I do a song and I go, what's that sign for applause break? And I'm looking for it. And they started to clap. So they knew what I was doing. And the guy recording it, guy from the cable studio said, it's like we were all here. I said, yeah, that's how you try to make it feel. And that's what I did, Mike. I just, God, worked through me to say like, okay, here's your audience, go for it. And it was clean show toward the 35 minutes.
My question, Jerry, is how long did you go without being on stage? Like I've been, the 15th of March will be 1 year since I've been on stage. That's coming up.
To be honest with you, Johnny, not counting any of these online things, I did probably half a dozen shows, outdoor shows in the summertime. But the last one that I did, let's see, was November. Yeah, so I still had a few under my belt, John.
I'm wondering, like, I'm gonna try to do some open mics because, but not being on stage for a year, like I used to do 45 minutes, half hour, no problem. Like I don't know how I'm gonna be, so I'm gonna host shows, my shows I do.
Yeah, but
so
I think that's a good idea,
5,
Johnny.
10, 15 minutes to build up. I don't think if I had to go do 45 right now, I wouldn't want to do that,
Well, you know what it is, Johnny? Like your act is different from everybody. I'm sure Mike can agree. Larissa, Steve. When you do crowd work, it's just magical. It just magically works. So you're not going to forget, like if somebody goes, oh, I work in a cafeteria, do me a favor, go get me a big hoagie, all right? Give me a big thing. You know exactly what to say, so your quickness is not gone, John. And
that's right, Jerry.
I've watched some videos. I've watched some videos of my act.
Yeah.
I don't, how am I going to remember this stuff? That's how I
You
feel.
will, John.
Once I get on
The
stage.
thing that you're not understanding is what Jerry's saying is what we've all been saying to you. There's been times, Jerry, on these Zoom shows where he's had me laughing so hard, I fall out of my chair. That razor sharp comedic timing, John, is still with you today.
But the problem is I have what I call filler. I have like a joke I'll tell here, or when I'm trying to think of what to do to go into the crowd next, I have stuff I go to, my go-to stuff, and then I go work the crowd, and I mix in this other stuff. I forget the other stuff.
We're at earpiece, and me and Mikey be in the background, and we'll tell you something joke.
Yeah.
I'm going to do some open mics.
Like cans of hairspray, your wife getting caught in the fan.
I mean, you did 35 minutes the other night. If right now, if you gave me $1,000, say do 35 minutes, I don't think I would last 35 minutes. Well, really, honest to God, I swear to God, I couldn't do it.
2 weeks before that, Johnny, I did 45, and then when I did the outdoor shows,
suicide for me. If you set me up to do 45 minutes and said I'll give you $5,000 if you can make it to 45 minutes, I don't think I can do it.
It'd be worse than the Apple Store.
I mean, I'd be walking around shining shoes. I'll stay up for 45 minutes, but I'll be doing other shit, not comedy. I'll be doing. I could never.
Mikey, he's not hearing us. He's not.
He's not. And what's going to happen is he's going to have to get up on stage. John's going to have to get up on stage, and it's all going to kick right in.
It's going to kick right in, Johnny.
Right, Larissa? It's all going to kick right in.
John, it's very different when live people are in front of you. It will come back to you because you're so natural at it. It's very different versus
we're going to find out.
In the bedroom with the catheter.
John, that's an example. Larissa brought up a great example. You can make fun of what you just went through, and that can become a 5-minute tirade about catheters and doctors that lie to you, nurses, people giving you drugs you can't pronounce. You get a ride in a rescue. I don't know who calls it a rescue. Last time I called it,
I called it a rescue. Hey, Jerry, 2:30 in the morning. I come out of Miriam Hospital. They walk me. They said, "You're all set now." They walk me to the door. I got a wallet with my ID and my insurance card. I figure I'll call an Uber when I get out. But because of the pandemic, at night, there's not a lot of people out anymore. I put in Uber, no cars available. I put in Lyft, no cars available. Now I go back to the emergency. I look, there's a number for a cab company. I call them. The guy says, "You got money?" I said, "Well, I got money at home." I said, "I don't have any money on me. I'm not coming then." I said, "Listen," I said, "I was a correctional officer for 36 years. He said, "I was too in my country, wherever he was from." I said, "I'll walk you in my house to my wallet where the cash is. I'll give you cash." He said, "All right, I'm going to come." And thank God he came. I would have been, I had these scrubs on. They kept falling down. I was trying to hold the scrubs up, trying to dial the cab. I was out of my mind with this.
But right there, that's a story. That's
Yeah,
fun.
Jerry, can I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, here's a story. Here's 1-800. Call John. John has catheter. Hard John. Compass with a catheter. Saves the horse, right? The cowboy.
I'm telling you, the last thing you do is swing that. The last thing you do is swing that bag around. Let me tell you right now, you do swing that bag anywhere.
But
Because that bag is connected. That bag is connected.
Mike's going to agree with me, and I'm pointing at him in case people are curious. Right there, when you rant, it's very funny, and you can just throw in stuff. That's like.
Jerry, I have an idea. Let's get together and write a sketch for John.
I'm telling you, that's a bit. Last week when he rolled that out, I jumped in and I threw something out there that I knew would be funny. It went well. Everyone on the panel laughed, and people have told me that watch it. They said, "Dude, that stuff you said about Eurolift was hilarious." So you got to use that, John.
Yeah, that's right, Johnny.
What I said last week was when he said that, he finished that story. I said, "John, if that's me, I'm telling the doctor, what are you nuts? Eurolift. I got Uber and Lyft. I don't need Eurolift. I have no plans on leaving the country." That's a great line right there.
That was the procedure I had. It was called Eurolift.
Right.
But
I found it online.
I like what Mike's saying.
Yeah,
John Catheterata.
I'll try to make something out of
Yes, there you go, John Catheterata. It's another one right there. I thought I was going to have to change.
Jerry, write it down. Write it down.
You guys are nuts.
I'm telling you, we're helping you write a whole new bit right here.
John, you're already up to 41 minutes.
I know.
Yeah, you guys are crazy, man. You guys are
John, have you ever written a joke down in your life, though?
Hold on, you're both talking. Wait a minute, Stevie, what?
Have you ever written a joke down in your life?
Yeah, when I started, probably 28 years ago. I wrote jokes in my first year, and I never wrote a joke since. I'm not a good writer. I come up with ideas in my head, and then I'll write it down. Or actually, I create it by working the crowd. But one night I looked at a guy. I said, "Look at this guy." I said something. I get different bits, and I said that worked, so I keep it. I remember it and keep it. It's kind of weird, I guess.
Yeah.
I can't.
You're not going to have any trouble at all getting back.
If you give me a piece of paper and a pen and sit me in a room, come back 4 days later, there'll be nothing on the paper. I can't write. I'm not a good writer. I cannot write.
There's a lot of people.
I would be fired from the Tonight Show if I was the writer. I'd be fired.
A lot of people do that. Chris Tabb told us that's how he does it. He said it to us. He said, "I write on stage. If it works, I keep it." I do the same thing. A lot of people do that.
Yeah. That's where I can create.
Now, Mary Ellen's different. Mary Ellen, working with Mary Ellen, and I work closely with her. Mary Ellen's like a table read. She writes every word out, every single word out. And then at the end of the week, she'll call me back. She'll ask me, "You got like X amount of minutes?" Yep, I do. I want to do my set by you. It's just like sitting at a comedy writer's table read. She has to write it all out.
Some people are like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't be. I just.
Yeah.
I get ideas. What's it like to be 62? What was it like to be 30? What was it like growing up in my mom and dad's house? What was it like going to a Catholic school? I just grab a topic and I go with it. But others like Mary Ellen, they need to write it down. And so Rodney Dangerfield was like that. Our old friend who went home to Jesus, Dave DiLorenzo, was like that. Dave wrote.
That's right, David. That's right.
He would have index cards, Dave.
Yeah.
Tons of
Dave
jokes
wrote
on it.
everything out. Everything out. It's what works for you. Larissa,
I miss Dave. Dave was
Yeah.
my distant cousin of mine, and he passed away. It's a little over a year now. Yeah, he was a good guy. You know,
That's crazy. It's been that long.
he
Yeah,
passed
and-
on he passed on Valentine's Day last year.
Yeah,
Oh,
and he
God.
told me he
Right,
passed
was
with
that?
prostate cancer, and he told me so always get that check. Your number, always get that check because
Your PSA number. Yep.
that was a
PSA, that's
tough
right.
loss. Yeah,
Nick
tough
and
loss.
I were gonna go see him that weekend, and he didn't make the weekend.
Yeah, I saw him a couple of times, and then he wanted some like a really different kind of meal from Twin Oaks. He wanted like macaroni with veal palm, but he wanted brown gravy on one of them. And I said, well, whatever you want. I said, I'll be here Saturday with it. And then I found out that Thursday, I think he passed away. I had talked to him the night before too. Talked to him, and yeah, it was sad. Yeah, he was a good guy.
Very good guy.
I think the last time I worked with him was Jerry had given us a gig. It was me, Jerry, and Dave.
Oh, that was a great show.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, so we got good memories of Dave. He was a good guy.
What I loved
like-
about Dave is when he was on stage and he did a bit, and if it didn't go well, his body language in making fun of the joke and the facial expressions sold the joke. He was
That's
so
right.
funny. He was so gifted.
Yeah, good guy. Good guy.
He
Stevie,
made
where we
that
gonna go
too.
from here? What's
No,
Yeah.
that?
no, let's
Pipes
see.
on him,
We've
too.
done surgeries. We've done the passing of friends. Can we get any lower? I'm not sure. So
Who knows what we can do next?
this is
We're
depressing.
we're
Did
paying
anybody's
homage
dog
to
die?
Dave
I mean, we could do
Lorenzo.
that maybe. Anybody have a dead pet they want to talk about? Or
Well,
No.
what's Joe Biden's dog? Did you hear, guys? He bit the security guard at the White
Yes.
House.
Yes,
I
Yeah.
did hear that.
the
Yeah, I
dogs
saw
have been
that.
sent back to Delaware. The two
Yeah, they
German
went to live on a
shepherds.
farm.
Yeah, now he's got to get a poodle or something. I don't know what he's gonna do.
Maybe a dog is not a Democrat. Who knows? Maybe he has a
One of the
Oh, there's
dogs
plenty of dogs in the
young.
Democrats. Oh, sorry.
and the other
Sorry.
one's very old.
The
Yeah,
other one,
just
the
like,
other dog's
just
old.
like the president.
Major is young, and the other one is older. So you've got a tough situation there. One of them is bouncing off walls, and the other one just wants to sit in the corner and sleep all day.
The age difference matters.
Are you talking about the last two presidents, Mike?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
One bouncing off all the walls, the other one's sleeping.
yeah. One of them's in a spray tan booth, and the other one's actually doing his job every day.
We won't get into that. We won't get into that.
Not loud.
I try to avoid politics on it because I can really get on a rant, but I can't. So we don't do that. Larissa, what do you got for us? You got anything we can delve into?
I just want to talk about the show Jerry and I gonna write about you.
Oh, yeah.
Have they
Right.
just sent you home and they told you to keep an eye on the color of your urine, and you didn't want to admit that you are colorblind, and you told them it's black.
Crazy, Larissa.
It's gonna continue and continue and continue.
And you know what? To bring this to Larissa, when you were at the hospital, you're like around the corner from her house. Why didn't you call her to come and get you and take you
I gotta
home?
call anybody at 2:30 in the morning. My
You
scrubs
would
are
have
falling
answered the
down.
phone. Yeah, but that's an emergency situation. You could have walked to her house.
I didn't call anybody. I called the cab driver.
Stephen would
You
not
have to call Mikey.
phone because
Mikey's a good guy.
silent, mode off, mode on, new phone. Right, Stephen, you wouldn't know what it is.
I don't drive, but if you had called me, I would have sent you an Uber. I would definitely sent you an Uber.
Everybody's telling me I should have called them, but I didn't. When you're out there at 2:30 in the morning, you can't think, well, let me call this person or that person. You know,
I know Larissa would have came to gut you no matter what the hour. I know Mike Murray would have came to gut you without the hour. It doesn't matter. They would have came. Mike Murray
Yeah.
dropped you off. Jerry would have came from way up in Massachusetts.
What I tell you Saturday, John, whatever you need, I'll come over. You're not going to come over. I go, I'll come over. Remember I told you that?
yeah. I couldn't really have any business not the way I was, man.
John, you would have come for us.
Yeah, I would have. If you called me 2:30 in the morning, I'd be there. I'd come and get you.
Yeah.
Can I have it in writing?
I'll put it in writing. If you need me at 2:30 in the morning, I'll be there.
Got it. Signed, sealed,
Beat it.
delivered.
I don't know about
Witness,
Jerry. Jerry lives
witness.
too far. Jerry, I'd have to send him an Uber.
I
How far are you from Providence, Jerry?
hour and 15, I think.
Yeah,
Wow.
That's a long.
John, that's nothing.
Yeah, but I wouldn't
John,
call
I drive
Jerry
an hour
far
to
away.
work a day.
I'm not gonna call you 2:30 in the morning to come and get me.
The
I'd help
person
you.
to call would have been Larissa. It's her neighborhood.
My hood.
No, that's not her neighborhood. It's Miriam Hospital. That's
She's-
on North Main
Well,
Street.
without letting people know where she lives, she's close.
3 minutes. And I would make you bolognese, your favorite.
Yes.
All
Oh,
right, let's
John.
go. Let's go from all this
Hey.
medical stuff, Steve. What do you got? You got anything you can interject here that you can get us off these crazy topics?
I don't
Did
know.
you lose
I-
any pets, Steve?
I didn't lose any pets. I did hear someone was telling me that in California they have this thing called Uber Kitten. Have you guys heard of this?
No.
You can
What the heck is that?
you can order a cat, so they will send a kitten to your house for an hour so you can play with the kitten.
You're kidding me, right?
No, I swear to God, I mean, I don't know if it's true or not. This is what they were telling me on a call at work today. So it's called Uber Kitten. You can order a kitten if you know for an hour.
Are you
All right,
sure
let's go
they
back.
weren't-
Let's
they
go
weren't
back to the
joking?
cat to the stories. Steve, that's crazy.
Hold on. Does it give you an option, a male or a female?
I just verified it. It is true.
It is true.
It's true.
See, I told you. Would I
Uber
lie to
Kitten.
you, Jerry? Would I lie to you?
Uber Kitten.
No, it says open your Uber app between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. Request the kittens option on your app. Does not work on Android phones. You're out
What
of
do they
luck.
got? An Uber guy riding around with like 5 kittens in the back
And
seat.
that-
He pulls
that
up and
is
gives
a-
one.
You
That's
only
an
get to
S-
enjoy it, Steve. It says 15 minutes of kitten.
15 minutes a kitten.
Yeah.
All right.
And what do you got to pay for that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Kibbles and bits. I don't know.
You could go buy a cat for probably less than it's
Yeah,
going
you
to cost
could.
you for them to come and bring your
That's-
kitten.
An SPCA lawsuit waiting to happen.
Oh, I think so too.
You
Yeah.
think so, Mike?
Are you kidding me? So that means one, you got to have a cat. And
Yeah.
now you hate this cat so much, you're going to be dropping it off. for other people for 50
Renting it out to people. Can you
Oh
get
my
a puppy?
God.
Like I don't know. You can only get a cat. But I wonder if if they have like Uber puppy. I'd do a puppy.
Even
Well,
that,
I
want
even
to
that,
know-
man. I mean,
I
these
want to
poor
know how
animals are,
much
they're in
pussy
shell
cat
shock.
is.
Hold on. Everybody's talking. Hold on. What'd you say, Larissa?
I said, I want to know how much is a pussycat at 3 in California.
You're crazy, Larissa.
Maybe the cat could come pick you up.
And who's the Uber? Some stripper from German?
Oh, that cost extra.
As long as she keeps 6 feet from a pussycat, she delivers.
Now, I did Uber for a few months when I retired, just for something to do.
John picked me up one night.
One night, here's a story for you. I got a thing. I knew Mike lived in North Providence. I wasn't sure. I pull up. I'm waiting. The guy comes out, gets in the back seat. I look. I blew his mind. I said, "How you been, Mike?" It was Mike Cronin.
I
was giving him-
it was
I was-
incredible.
I was Uber, and I turned around. Hey, how you doing, Mike? Mike, he blew his mind.
It was incredible.
I was his Uber driver.
I Uber every day. Every day.
Yeah, it's probably less by the time you have a car payment.
It's
car
less for me.
taxes, insurance.
You're right. I did the math. It's cheaper for me to Uber than it was to own my car.
Huh.
Wow.
Jeez.
I believe you.
And now I Uber.
Now you Uber,
Wow.
So you don't drive anymore, John?
not Uber. No,
No.
I after when way before the pandemic, I did it for a while, and I got for a while it was crazy. I was getting into it, but then after a while, you get burnt out with that. I mean, one night I went to the last resort in Smithfield. I got a thing. I go there. There's I swear to God, 7 or 8 girls from Providence College, probably had fake IDs, who knows, 1 o'clock in the morning. They must be 19, 20, 21, but they all get in my car. I let 7, 8 girls in my car. They're all squished in the back seat. They turn my radio as high as they could turn it. They're all dancing and I'm riding down the street saying to myself, I don't think I'm supposed to pick up 8 people. So now I'm thinking if a cop sees me, he's going to pull me over. It's 1 in the morning. I got 8 20-year-olds drunk in the car. What am I going to say? Right?
Tell him you're going to get a catheter put in.
That's good. I dropped them all off, Steve, and I was like, I'm not letting 8 people in a car anymore.
These are
I
my
had-
Uber kitties.
yeah,
Uber
crazy things.
kitties. That's right. You want to pet one for 15 minutes?
Then I pick a girl up. I pick this girl up. She gets in a car. I said, "Where you going? Where is it?" Rhode Island Doll Strip Club in Woonsocket.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I take her there. I get all the way over there. I drop her off. I call my wife. I said, I just was with a stripper for a half hour. She said, "What?" I said, "Yeah," and she paid me.
See,
That was
John,
a true story.
John,
That was a true story.
Mike, see, there's
Yeah.
more
You're all there.
minutes to the
You're all
set.
there.
Yeah.
I drove Uber for 34 rides when I had the Lincoln Town car. So I sit here at my command station. I turn it on one night. It was frigid that night. It was so cold. It had snowed. It was nasty cold. I get this ride request from Providence College up at the dorms. So I go up there. I pull up in front of this big wrought iron gate, and these 3 girls come down the walkway, no jacket on, mini skirts that were highly illegal. I'd never let my daughter leave the house dressed like that. One of them had on shorts that were leaving half the cargo package out for the world to see. They get in the back seat. They're all hyper.
Did you get their names by any chance?
No, but I
bad.
Grampy mic'd them. So as we're getting there, I dropped them off at the old Challenges downtown. So we pull up. The line is out the door, going down around the block, and then it turns the corner. You can't see the line anymore. So now these girls have to stand this line. It's like 2 degrees outside. They've got cocktail napkins, had more material in them than what they had on for clothes. So I said to the girls as they get out of the car, I said, "Ladies, let's make good decisions tonight." And one of them threw her hair over to the side and went, "Oh, thank you." And off they went into the frigid night air. I could not believe it.
I picked up a guy one night. He said, "Can I trust you?" I said, "Yeah, you can trust me." Starts telling me about his lucrative cocaine business. Like, I want to know this stuff. Like, he doesn't know if I'm undercover cop or so. He's telling me all the deals. He's got all these coke deals going. And then I take him all the way to Providence. And he said, "Oh, I forgot something back at the house. Can you take me back?" I said, "Nah." It was like 2 a.m. I'm driving around with a coke dealer. That was the end. I said, I can't do this. I can't. It was too crazy.
I wouldn't have wanted that ride.
Yeah, it was crazy. I had one guy get in at the courthouse. He had teardrops tattooed on his face. He got in and didn't say nothing. And I was like, that was a little scary ride. He looked like a Charlie Manson type.
I just watched a video before we jumped on. These 3 girls are in the back of an Uber ride. It goes wrong. It goes off the tracks. These girls, one of them has no mask on. She leans up to the driver, starts coughing in his face, and rips his mask off. And she's going, "Ah, ah, ah, ah." You got to be kidding me. So now the San Francisco Police Department have shared the screen grabs because the guy had one of those cameras that records, and they're looking for them. They'll get them. They'll definitely get them.
That's crazy.
I know. Can you imagine that?
I used to drive limousines back in the 90s.
That's nice. Let's talk about that, Steve. You've been hiding that from us.
Did you drive anybody famous, Steve?
No, I never really did it. I was supposed to pick up, Rico Suave at
you never picked up Mike Cronin?
Airport. No, I didn't get that privilege. I think I was supposed to pick up Rico Suave at the airport once, and he missed his flight, so I didn't end up picking him up. So, yeah, no, we used to do like weddings and stuff like that on the weekends and stuff. But no, nothing. Nobody famous.
Our friend Nick Albanese drove limo. He picked up some heavy hitters. He picked up, and when he picked up these people, they stayed with him. He hung out with him. He picked up George Carlin. He picked up Kenny Rogers. He picked up Katherine Heigl. He picked up
Kenny Rogers. I love Kenny Rogers.
Picked up Kenny Rogers. Picked up Kenny Rogers' wife. Brought the wife to Kenny Rogers. Then got on the tour bus. Hung out with Kenny Rogers for a while. Picked up Katherine Heigl. He picked up Emeril Lagasse. Stayed with Emeril Lagasse for the whole day. You all know the story about George Collins, right?
Yeah. Well, I know, but
do you guys know the story, Jerry? Larissa?
I don't think I do.
Nick picks up George Collin.
Nick Albanese, for those who don't know.
Nick Albanese picks up George Collin, gets him at the airport, private jet. He's got to go to the Biltmore drops the bill more, tells him, wait, I got to get something. I'll be right back. So he checks in, comes back down, gets in. Now they go to the P-PAC. They go to the P-PAC. George Collins says, any good restaurants that we can order some food from? So Nick throws out Hemingway's. He goes, all right, what do they got? So they look, they put their order in. So George Collins says to Nick, and Nick, I apologize if I'm getting this wrong. What are you going to get? Nick's like, wait a minute, what am I going to get? Yeah, you got to eat, right? So Nick orders, they come back. He's letting them out. George Collins, what are you doing? Come in and eat. Yeah, come on, come in and eat. So now they go in to the P-PAC and he's hanging out with them, talking to him about comedy, how he thought about doing it, would like to do it. George Collins says, look, here's what you do. Write yourself like 5 minutes and go to open mic nights. If it works, continue to do it. So now Nick's getting ready to go. Nah, what do you mean go? Stay for the show. No, I got to stay at the car. Forget the car. Stay for the show. So now George Collins tells him to stand in the wings. Now, for those of you that don't know what the wings are, those are the left and right of the stage that you don't see, but you can see the performer. So the coolest part of this story for me is this. Nick is standing in the wings. Now his manager comes up and taps Nick on the shoulder and says, start the car. He's done in 2. Nick goes out, starts the car. George Collins comes out, gets in the car. The manager gets in the car. Nick told me, he said, Mike, I was halfway down 95 to the airport, and those people were probably still sitting in their seats. Didn't know he left the building. He said he was the nicest, kindest, sweetest, most genuine person. And Katherine Heigl was very nice and kind to him, too. And she has a reputation in Hollywood, but he said, not with me, man. She was very cool.
I saw George Collins. I might have been at that show because I saw him at the P-PAC once. I love George Collins. He was great. I love Kenny Rogers. When he died, I felt awful. Kenny Rogers, I still Google his songs and listen to him. Great. He was phenomenal talent. I saw him at the Dunk. It was a Providence Civic Center years and years ago, probably in the 80s when he sang Lady. That was me and my first ex-wife. That was our
There you go. There
Lady.
you go.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I saw George Carlin at the Melody Tent. Remember that in Warwick?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Larissa, what do you got to add in here? Anything? What do you got, kid?
I don't think I met any comedians besides you guys live.
Besides us,
Not yet.
guys. But you did meet Michael Douglas. She was walking on the
I did.
walking down the street at Brown University. She's Michael Douglas. I love it. Fatal Attraction. That's a story, a part of my life.
I was gonna say.
I love Michael Douglas.
Yeah, great actor.
He doesn't do much anymore, Larissa. I haven't seen him. He's kind of retired
Great
now.
actor. Great actor.
Well, once he met Larissa, there wasn't really anything else left to do.
Yeah.
What did he have, Larissa?
So he has a Netflix show. It's called The Kaminsky Method.
I didn't know
Right.
that.
That's written by Chuck Lorre. That's a Chuck Lorre production.
So he's got that on Netflix now?
This old actor who is the owner of the acting school. It's actually a pretty good show. He's very good at it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah, he made a lot of great movies, Michael Douglas. I like him a lot. His father, Kirk Douglas, he died a while back. He hit 100 or 101 or whatever he was. He
He lived.
Yeah,
when I was a kid. He was in great movies when I was a kid. Kirk Douglas was awesome, and his son, great actors. You know, Geraldo. Well, it's almost time to wrap it up, Mike. Geraldo, have you ever taken an Uber?
No, but I did work with Larry the Cable Guy.
You worked with Larry the Cable Guy. That's right.
And
Lisa
he got mad at me.
Lampanelli.
Yep, but Larry the Cable Guy got mad at me because I didn't know the rules that you can't be real funny. They just hire you to be the opener just to, I do 20 minutes, and I gave it my best in 2 shows. Ended the second show, I go, nice to meet you. If you ever need another opener. He goes, no way. I go, why? He goes, you're too effing funny. And he walked away. And I'm like, whoa. And
Larry the Cable Guy.
take it as a compliment.
Now, where was that, Jerry? Where did you open for him?
Rochester, New Hampshire. It was a thing for Rock 101. They had a club up there. 2 shows in one night, sold out 2 shows.
Wow.
He was funny as hell, but
Yeah, I never really watched much of him. I gotta check him out. I never watched.
He's that redneck type of humor, but he's got some good stuff.
I remember he was big, and Jeff Foxworthy was. They were big for a while.
They
You don't hear much about Jeff Foxworthy anymore, do
No,
you?
you don't.
You don't.
He was like big for a while there. He was
Yeah, he
like pretty
was.
big.
Yeah, Bill Engvall and Ron White, that whole.
Yep,
Yeah, I
the
mean, some of
redneck
these
guy.
guys, they make it, all of a sudden they peak and then you don't hear from them after a while. It's weird. Like Cronin, like he peaked in the early 90s and I didn't hear from him for like 20 years.
Now, Jerry, I want to go back to you. I read that Larry the Cable Guy, it's a whole character that he doesn't even talk like that.
He carried that conversation on throughout the show in Meet Me, so I just didn't know. But someone goes, "No, he doesn't talk like that."
Yeah,
It's his
that's what I
character.
read. He doesn't talk like that.
But he stayed that way for me. I really don't know why, but like I said, he didn't seem happy. I mean, I liked him. I thought he was a nice guy, but I said, okay, I guess he's, I did something wrong, and like,
You're too
I
funny.
just tried my best, and I figured, well,
Yeah.
that's the way to be.
Before we go, I got to ask you guys, Jerry, who's your favorite national comedian? Who would you say the top, if you had to pick one comic that's passed away or whatever, or still here that you could sit with right now for a half hour and talk to? Who would it be?
And the tie, it would be a tie between Rodney Dangerfield and Robin Williams.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great choice. I'd probably be right there with you. Those are, I'd Richard Pryor too. It's a tough to narrow it to one. Now, Larissa, who would you wanna? If you could meet one comedian, who would it be? National comic.
Oh my gosh, his name escapes me. Help me out. He used to write for Saturday Night Live. He's in the rehab right now. I went to see him. Oh, I went to see him at PPAC. Guys, help me out, from New York. He used
Mulvaney.
John Mulaney?
John Mulaney.
Yeah,
Yes. I love him.
He just
I
went
love
into rehab.
Yeah, yeah, he
He
just went in rehab.
He's a funny guy, John Mulvaney.
Very funny.
He's so talented. I did see him live actually at PPAC.
Oh,
He's absolutely amazing.
wow.
He owns a house in Jamestown,
Does he?
Rhode
Oh,
Island.
wow. I
Wow.
didn't know.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yes.
You ain't around Jamestown, Larissa. You never know.
You
See if he
never
rides
know.
by. See if he rides by. You never know. John Mulvaney,
I love
Steve
them.
Turgeon. What do you like? If you had to pick one?
I'm probably a George Carlin guy. I mean, that was the first stuff that I had the album like when I was 12, and I'd play the 7:30 words you can't hear on television for like over and over and over again. And the other guy, and it's unfortunate, but as a comic in his prime, Bill Cosby was one of the funniest people you will ever see. And I mean, he was just a fabulous comic. And again, everything that's happened in the last 10 15 years is just kind of sad. But
Yeah.
I mean, as far when you listen to him, I remember I went to a show of his. It was still at the Melody Tent, I think, and I never laughed so hard in my life. And the guy didn't swear once, and he didn't say. He just connected so well with the audience. It was impressive. So. But
I remember having the album Bill Cosby, Fat Albert, when I was a kid. They had some album with Fat Al. He would do that character.
Yeah.
We were kids. We used to like to mimic that. Hey, Fat Albert.
Buck. Remember the story about Buck?
It's a shame what happened to him. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because he was a talented guy, but he went down a very wrong path.
He did.
Mike
Yeah.
Cronin, who was if you could be with, I couldn't pick one, but if you had to be with one or two comics right now in the next that could Uber to your house, who would you want?
Are you giving me two or one?
I'll give you two.
Jim Gaffigan and Sebastian Maniscalco.
Oh God!
Yeah,
Forgot about
those are good.
Sebastian.
Well, for
I
me, it
love
would be
Jim Gaffigan.
yeah, he's great. I would if I could. I like Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, George Carlin, Rodney. I don't know who I'd pick out of those four. Robin Williams, this five. I couldn't. I don't know. I'd say to be with somebody. Robin Williams was so manic.
Yeah.
He was on like the
great.
Tonight Show, and he
Yeah.
would just take over the whole. He was so manic, and I regret he came to the Performing Arts Center, the PPAC, and one of my friends went. He said he was unbelievable. He was like an hour and a half. He drank like all the water was on bottles of water. He said he was incredible, and I regret not going to see him. I should have saw him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Robin Williams was. He'd probably be the guy. I love Rodney, but Robin Williams to be here right now and hang with him. I was ashamed that he passed away like he did too. You know.
Yeah.
Well, we got to wrap it up, Mike.
He was
that
very
time.
talented. Robin Williams, man, if you enjoy Robin Williams, look for on YouTube when he was on with James Lipton inside the actors studio. Many will
Yes.
say that was his greatest performance. He was
That was great.
Yeah.
I
brilliant.
saw it.
In the other ones too, Jerry, that he did in John, everybody else that he was very good at when he did the USO tours.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
was just
ultimate.
brilliant with them.
He
There's
was-
so many gifted I mean, we work with people locally that I think are just as funny as anybody else. I think you're right there, John, with people like that. I mean, you know,
Nah.
comedy is comedy.
Yeah, you are, Johnny.
Nah.
I always
Listen,
talk about you in my classes, John.
You talk about me in your classes. What do you,
Yeah,
what do you,
yeah.
what do you say, Jerry?
Yeah, it's a field sobriety
I said,
class, but
I said, if you want advice
Talk
on a
about
catheter,
catheters?
see John Perrotta. No, I just say how you do crowd work and how you're one of the best at it because you're not dirty, you're not hurtful. Whereas, you know, Don Rickles would dig deep, and you don't dig deep. You don't have to. You can walk away from them and still be their friends. They won't be mad at you. Whereas
I miss
you
it.
know,
I'm really looking forward to getting back on stage. I'm nervous about it.
you'll be
I'm looking
fine.
forward.
You'll
to
be
it.
fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine, brother.
But we're gonna wrap it up, Jerry. What are you gonna say to wrap it
We're
up tonight's
wrapping up
show?
already. Oh no,
Mikey, we're
Believe it?
doing our show. You want to get canceled? The sponsors won't cover us for more than an hour.
That's right.
Jerry
what am I gonna
Caruso, what are you gonna
say?
say to wrap it up?
I'm excited to be back. The first live show. I got another live show in April, and I anticipate one in May. I just signed on to do a big show to get the Vietnam Veterans Wall to the town of Townsend, Massachusetts. I'm headlining that show June. I think it's June 5th. So I got a whole bunch lined up. I'm doing something for an emergency housing. That's going to be in my neck of the woods, and I'll headline that. And they're all excited. So I'm just ready and rearing to go.
Jerry, you know I love you. We've been friends for a very long time. I appreciate everything you've done for me. One thing I'm gonna ask again, it's cold over here. See if they can cut a check that Jerry did for the heat. If they can cut a check for 200 to John Perrotta, whatever you can give. Just tell them
I'll see what I can do.
whatever they can do. I appreciate it. Yeah.
I
Jerry
know.
Caruso, hilarious. One of my best friends in the business. I appreciate
You
you
too.
being on.
You
You're
too.
the man. Larissa, what do you got to say to wrap it up? Our first responder, comic.
So good to see you all. I can't wait to see you guys live and share the stage instead of the Zoom screen. Can't wait.
Yes. The
In the
Zooms have been
meantime-
fun, but they're getting old, Larissa. They're getting old, right? We want to be all together in a club. And hey, Larissa, you're going on next. Jerry, you're going on next. Steve, you're coming up. Mike's coming up, and being with a live audience. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Zooms have been good. It served its purpose. I'm actually gonna in April. We're gonna do the weekly check-in with Jessica Lee every Tuesday night. I'm gonna do one Zoom a week, and that's it. Once in a while, a little more, but I'm gonna transition to one Zoom a week with the hopes of getting back to shows starting in May, and June, and July. And so I'm gonna make the transition because we've done over 120 of these. You know what I mean? They're on the YouTube channel. So 50 years from now, people want to see how did the comics get through the pandemic. They can go and look on the YouTube channel, and this is how they got through it, going nuts, talking about catheters and Uber rides and all kind of wacky stuff. But we always love having you on, Larissa. You do a great job. She's the master chef through the bolognese. Unbelievable. Steve Kurger, what do you got to say to wrap it up, brother?
I'm looking forward to getting back out there again too. And I gotta tell you, it's starting to feel different. You can hear people with the vaccines and everything. People are itching to get out there, and it really feels like we're getting close to the end here. And I really believe that once we kind of get over that hump, and when we start doing live company, people are going to come out in droves because I think everyone missed all the things that they could do for the last year. And when you give those opportunities to go watch people do live comedy, I think it's going to go. I think we're going to see some big crowds once we get out there again, or at least I hope to.
Once we can have them, we'll definitely. They'll come back. They'll definitely come back. Well, hey, thanks for coming on, Steve. You've been a great friend since how long have I known you now, Steve?
Been 5 years now.
Is it that long?
Yeah, I
5
did my
years?
first open mic. For my 50th birthday, actually, and then you kept inviting me back. So
I remember when you came on. So I invite guys back because when I did it in '83, no one invited me back after 3 times. So I always, when I got back on a comedy, I said I'm going to dedicate a big part of my career to helping comics get stage time. And I'll tell you what, that's one of the things I'm most proud of that I've done is veteran comics, new comics, is getting stage time for people for the comics. That's like the biggest accomplishment.
Well,
The other
so in
things
that-
I've done were great, but that was meeting
Yeah.
you and
Yeah.
Larissa and Jerry, everybody. And this is
In
what
that 5 years, I've done 85 shows,
nice.
including 3 comedy festivals. So that was all
Nice.
from that one night when I figured it'd be one and done, and that'd be it. But
I kept after you.
here I am again. Still,
You do a great job on stage, Steve. I'll be in touch with all you guys. The shows are coming back. Mike Cronin, you have the last word.
Yay! I am humbled and honored to be on the show tonight.
I knew he was going to say that.
Because I am. I had a great time. I really enjoyed our conversation tonight. I always think that we cut it too short. We get into the meat and potatoes of stuff, and then we
Mikey,
pull back. But I
Mikey,
get
we're
it.
at an hour, Mike.
We're at an hour. I know. Had a great time tonight. Steve was great seeing you. Larissa, always fun talking with you. Jerry, love you. One of the nicest, kindest people I've met in comedy. I'm looking forward, matter of fact, I'm looking forward to being on Jerry's show for a second time, March 29th, which is my birthday, boys and girls.
Nice.
It's gonna be on my show.
Birthday.
Yep.
You can look for Laughter and Hope. We're going to be up in Portsmouth, New Hampshire on March 26th at the Roundabout Diner and Lounge. You can buy.
Guys, I know that place.
You really, Jerry?
Yeah.
I'm not going. I'm not going to that show. That's going to be Mike Caudry, Rhonda Corey, and Tommy Moran. I am going to stay back on that one, but you
You're
can
cutting out, Mike. I don't know what
tickets
happened.
online at Laughter and Hope site. ComedyFactoryRI.com is all new website. Matter of fact, send him an email and he'll put it in a folder later on.
Mike Cronin, my great friend. Thanks for being a sidekick on this for this last year. We're kind of winding to at the end of this month. Like I said, we're going to do these once a week. I love having all you guys and girls on. Thanks, Mike, Steve, Larissa, Jerry. You guys have been awesome. Everybody stay healthy. We're almost to the finish line. I think things are going to come back. Just everybody stay healthy. Let's get back to our shows where we belong, back on
Yep.
stage.
Good to see everybody.
Amen.
Nice to
God
see you,
bless.
Steve. It's
Love
been a
you all.
while.
See you guys.